Okay, guys. Hey, everybody.
What's going on, guys?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, guys. Oh, thank you.
Wow.
Look at these motherfuckers here. Oh, thank you guys so much. Thanks for coming out.
Yes.
Thank you.
What's going on?
All right, guys. In case you don't know, thank you. Yes, thank you. We love you too. In case you guys don't know, this guy here to my left, that is Justin. I am Darrell.
Yeah.
So here we are, guys, celebrating 1 year of the site. You know, we appreciate you guys coming out, but before we get started, it just kind of feels empty up here, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
So I mean, we really can't do this. Can't do this by ourselves. So hey, Chester, you out there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, get on up here.
Hey,
Ladies and gentlemen, Chester.
Chester motherfucking Green Thumb.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Oh, yes, thank you.
Sorry to the person I tripped on. I apologize about that.
They shouldn't have been sitting in the aisle.
That's what they get.
Plenty of seating here, folks. Just come right over in the middle here.
Yep.
So,
right.
fuck, guys. Can you believe it's been a year?
No, I cannot believe that.
1 year.
Very convincing, Justin. Very convincing. Cannot believe that, I know. Oh, man, so...
It's gone by so fast. I mean...
It really seems like just yesterday, Chester came to us and said, "You guys should talk about metal on the radio." And we were like, "Chester, you're a moron."
Yeah, like, that's
and he was
silly.
like, "Okay."
That's ridiculous.
And then a week later, "Hey, we started a blog. Let's do a podcast." So we're here to kind of talk about the last year, give you guys a little behind-the-scenes kind of look at it.
What goes on here at the headquarters.
Yep, we're gonna answer some questions later on in the show if we have some time.
Yep.
But let's just kick it right off here, guys. Chester, let's start with you. What's your favorite moment from the last year?
That's a good question. You remember when Scenario came with that grease stain on your wall?
Yes.
Messed up my chair?
The scenario.
I never got rid of that stain, man.
Fist pumping and everything.
Yeah, the stump fiddle.
No.
The stump fiddle.
Whatever happened to that?
So yeah, he hasn't come back yet because he hasn't made the stump fiddle. That was the deal.
Yeah, that's right. He couldn't come back unless he made it. And you know that actually brings up an interesting point because you referred to the stain on the wall in the headquarters and on the chair. You guys don't know this. Like, we don't have like a fancy office building. We actually the headquarters that we refer to is in the attic of my house.
It's
Yes.
fancy. It's fancy.
I mean, it has
It's got clouds.
Yeah, it's got clouds, blue sky on the walls, and in the summertime it gets really fucking hot up there.
Yeah, it's really...
But that's a side story altogether. That's our headquarters. You know, computer up there, got the speakers. You know, rocking out. But so Justin, on to you. What some of your favorite moments from the last year? Guys, can we keep it down, man? Can we put the phones on silent at least?
Have some respect.
Man, you guys paid how much to get in here?
Sorry, Justin.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, we didn't charge for this?
What?
Okay, there's going to be a hat going around.
Yeah, we're gonna pass the hat. Everyone buy a sampler. All right. Anyway, sorry, Justin.
Speaking of the sampler, I have to say that's definitely got to be one of my favorite things of us doing this whole podcast and website and everything. I never thought that it would ever come to be where we had our own sampler where we were able to pass out music to people and share new stuff. And it's like legit, you know. The cover looks great. Everything looks great.
It does look official.
Yeah, it's awesome. And for those of you again who don't have it, we'll be selling it over there near the door as you guys leave. You can pick up a copy.
$5,
Jenny.
man.
It's only
See
$5.
Miss Hopper.
Yeah. Jenny's over there, the face of Sorrow Eternal.
Yep.
I have to agree with you on that. The sampler. Do you remember the day it came? We
Yes.
have. Another thing you guys might not know is that I'm giving you all the secrets now. We all have full-time jobs.
Yeah.
This isn't our full-time job. This is what we do in our, I guess you could call it spare time.
Mm-hmm.
But this is kind of a full-time job because we spend quite a bit of time between the podcast, doing the writing for the site, and just upkeep. We spend a lot of time. But so we're at our job and we all work together. Yeah. And I get the confirmation. The sampler has arrived at the headquarters.
Chester, I'll be back.
Yeah, Chester, I'll be back. It's pretty much what I said. Jumped in the car, drove.
Yeah, that's right.
Came back, grabbed the box, brought it back, and I remember cracking it open, pulling the disc out, and going, "This is real. It's a real CD and a real sleeve. We did this. We put this together with the help of 12 awesome bands and awesome people, and that's something to look back on." And I mean, how many of you actually have the sampler?
All right.
Good chunk of you.
See some hands, yeah.
So I mean, there's some good shit on there, and it was really I would say pride is what I have in what we did with that.
Yeah.
So,
And what's even cooler is that, hopefully we're going to be getting more of these samplers together with different genres perhaps, or different bands at least. This is only one of many to come. So
yeah, what do you guys think about that?
more samplers.
Yeah, I know we had talked about, Volume 2 being just Sorrow Eternal, Doom.
Yeah.
And, putting 3 Doom tracks on there, 'cause that's probably all we'd be able to fit. But,
maybe start an iTunes page.
yeah, see, well, that's next. Guys, we need your help. We want to get this stuff spread around, and obviously you guys like us enough to be here, but getting it on iTunes and the Zune market.
Yeah, let us know the easiest, way to access for, getting our sampler and things like that.
Spread the word. Let us know. Shoot us an email. You guys all know the address by now.
Yeah.
But, so, looking back at this last year, you remember when we started this whole thing, we wrote a couple reviews, and we didn't really touch it for like a month, and
Yeah.
here we are a year later, and we're still doing it.
Yep.
Now, when we started, if you guys remember, podcast number 1 was our introduction. Then we decided to give Chester homework. Chester, you remember your homework?
Yeah, the adventure through metal.
That didn't last very long.
No, I reviewed three CDs: Blind
Guardian,
Nightwish.
Nightwish, and L80.
Yep,
Yeah.
That's right. Which of those 3 was your favorite?
Nightwish,
Nightwish?
but L80 is a close second.
Yep, and obviously L80 has been our band of the month and
Yeah.
everything. That's one of our favorites.
Keep in mind, Chester's a rapper, for those of you who aren't familiar with Chester.
Yeah, we stopped mentioning that after a couple podcasts.
Yeah.
He was our
Normally-
resident rapper.
Yeah, I normally do the whole hip hop thing.
Yeah.
So this was very
So this
new
was-
to him.
Yeah, definitely an adventure.
Did
for
I do
Chester.
the Demu? I think I did Demu as well.
I think we talked about
Or I just listened to it on my own.
Yep.
Yeah, you may have.
Because of the artwork was amazing on
Plus,
that
we
album.
talked about it so much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it was in like the first 5 podcasts.
Yeah, but trumping that, of course, as you guys know, was what the first 16 or 17 or 20 where you mentioned Mastodon and all of them in some form or another. That now, what you guys might not know again. That was Justin, back when he was still called Mermaider, the artist formerly known as Mermaider. We'd just slip it in. That was all Justin. We had nothing to do with that. Chester and I usually didn't even know he was going to do it until...
I mean, it did just come across in conversation for the most part.
For most of them, but there were
a couple at the end where I kind of was like, you know what? I don't think I mentioned Mastodon.
I think my favorite was one episode where you literally, at the end, like, you guys got anything to add? And you were like, oh, by the way, Mastodon.
Yeah,
end.
that was a good ending.
That's a good cutoff.
And I mean, the best part is, we don't record this, obviously it's not done live, and, there's some editing involved, which obviously Justin takes care of. So, you guys don't realize how much we fuck up. I mean, the blooper reels are only a small portion.
Yeah, a lot of it came from the first couple of times that we tried to record where we couldn't get the beginning, just the greeting in the beginning. We kept redoing.
Do you remember the time you were going to
it.
let me actually take the helm and start it off? And we must have done it. I would say we started the podcast. I don't remember what number it was. We must have started it 15 times.
Yep.
Yeah, just
Because
going
Like
back
to the point
and-
where we were in tears because we couldn't start it.
Because we were so stupid. We were so new to this, we didn't really know what we were doing.
Yeah.
So all we were doing, we were trying to get it in one take.
Right.
Like, we wanted it to be one continuous thing instead of just recording and then cutting out the pieces. It wasn't until, 30 podcasts later that Justin says, why don't we do a blooper reel of all of our mess ups?
Yeah.
And obviously, luckily, we have some. But there was stuff from even those first couple that we don't have.
Yeah.
Because, we just kept redoing it.
Yeah.
And I am so grateful.
Yes, some of those were very interesting. But,
Now, recording nowadays goes a lot smoother than it used to. We have our system now on how we record the podcast, and we're prepared in the intro all the way to the end. We know exactly how it's going to go.
We've gotten a little bit more professional, a little bit.
Yeah.
Again, the outtakes would suggest otherwise, but there's still a lot of fart jokes and stuff going on in the headquarters at all times. And now there's been a lot of baking going on in the headquarters. We've had a lot of baked goods coming our way, which has been awesome.
Yes, that's another one of my favorite things.
I don't even know how many people listen to this every week. Obviously, you guys, know who we are and what we do. We've been recognized. Well, you've been recognized, particularly Justin, as the Sorrow Eternal guy.
Yeah.
Mermaider stalkers.
Yep.
They're out there.
But
No autographs. No autographs.
I will sign autographs. Chester will sign autographs too, for a price.
I have, and it
Yep.
does cost, so pass the hat that way, please.
But I think that's one of the best things is talking to you guys. We've met a lot of people who deal with the site. We've gotten emails, gotten comments. We've met people in person who like what we do, and we appreciate that, and obviously we appreciate that you guys are here at all.
Yeah. Oh, we've gotten copyright threats.
Oh yeah, we don't want to talk about those though, because if we
don't mention Anthrax,
or Ed Guy or the legal team at Musso.com, if we mention any of those, we could get sued again. Yeah. And anybody in the house a lawyer? Because if so, leave a card when you pick up a sample. Leave a card with Jenny at the table.
We're gonna need it.
We're probably gonna need it at some point.
You can leave it in a white envelope.
I mean, you guys know we don't do anything illegal.
Yeah, we haven't played any music.
Yeah,
we're
despite the fact that we wanted to. When we first started, but we realized that it was copyright issues, and we knew we couldn't do it.
So,
but that hasn't stopped these groups from. We've had podcasts taken down off of our hosting site. We've had them taken down off of Blogger altogether.
Yeah.
All because of legal threats based on nothing.
Yeah.
And I just want to say that while I was pissed off particularly about the Ed Guy thing.
Yeah.
Because they are one of our favorite bands, and we've supported them for a long time. But obviously, it's not the bands themselves that are doing this. It's these legal teams who are trying to stop downloading, which we've talked about on multiple podcasts.
Right.
And they just they're just trying to do what they think is right, and instead they're just fucking with people who don't deserve it. Yeah. And that was basically the argument that ensued between myself and this person from his name was James from the legal team at Musso.com.
James?
James, Mr. James. And so, the discussion was basically they think they're doing the right thing and I think they're full of shit. But we'll get off of that topic. Now, one of the biggest things on the site that we get to do these days, which started with a single MySpace message sent by Chester himself, is we've done a lot of interviews.
Yeah, band interviews are...
Which, again, is very humbling for us.
Yeah.
Especially since we don't just do interviews with everybody. We do interviews with the bands that we really liked, and that's been a big deal. Yeah. So, we should just take a minute and thank people like Dan Klein from Appalachian Winter. We got to thank the guys from Arafel. Brimier was great. Was a really great interview. I mean, the list goes on, and even up through the newest ones that we've had. I mean, it's all been absolutely great and insightful.
Blizzard at Sea.
Blizzard at Sea was a great one. KO Dot was very informative.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the balance. Some of them are kind of funny because we ask kind of funny questions, and some of them are a little more informative. But so that's another thing.